Good evening, friends. It is a pleasure to meet you once again. This is the fourth episode of the current series, Patel Resurrected. I take pleasure in introducing Dr. Natarajan, who is a well-known bilingual journalist, currently writing articles mainly in Dinamalar and Tuklak. He has also recently published two books, one of which is the Tamil version of the book Decade of Decay, called Kasa Desattai, and other a compilation of his recently published articles. The book is named Yarikar India. Today's discussion would basically be on the communal charges against Sardar Patel. Sardar Patel was repeatedly charged as a Hindu-communalist, to a great extent a hater of Muslims, who couldn't stand the Muslims both in Congress Party and in Muslim League. Sir, what do you think about this? Is it true?
When you are away from crucial events decades past, whatever the opinionated men say, that sticks. And if you go through the historical records, you will say Patel was neutral. Patel was not communal. And in fact, he said that there should be Muslim representation in the Constituent Assembly, though the Muslim League was presenting its own persons. That's not the thing. As Gandhi himself has said on one occasion, that me and Nehru are being perceived as pro-Muslims, and Patel is perceived as anti-Muslim. It is not so. We all tell the same thing, but our expression is this way, his expression is the other way. So, Patel, as the nature of country speaking, calls a spade, doesn't want to camouflage in his sentences. So, when you just sweeten your words in some way, your real intent is not understood. And if you hate or criticize it, it's not understood. When persons like Patel speak very candidly, that is taken out of context and turned as given a communal color.
So this was in January 1948, when there were serious charges against Patel, partly because of his speeches, partly because of the 55 crore that was supposedly denied. He held back the amount that others were willing to pay, was the charge that was made against Patel.
Well, regarding the 55 crores incident, people say that it was a breach of trust or a breach of contract. It is not so, because we must have a practical way of thinking. Patel felt that this money would be used against India. And I would now like to say now, there was the first ever seed money that Pakistan got to work against India. Now 55 crores is peanuts. They get more. But initially, just as people who go in for business, some initial capital is given. So this is the initial capital that Pakistan got to send terrorists and others to us. And Patel had the foresight to see these things. Even if you err by breaching the trust, by breaching the contract, let us not do this, because this is one way to defend ourselves. We should not provide a handle to our opponent to deal with us. So he was right. Later day incidents, including the Kazab situation, prove that.
Also, it was a joint decision by the cabinet, but later when Gandhi went on fast,
Yes.
all others, including Nehru, put the blame on
Yes.
Patel.
Because Gandhiji took a fast and others considered it fashionable to say this, they also had in their mind this thing. Their mind accepted, but they did not want to openly commit. And Patel felt that he always spoke his mind. So what they had in mind doesn't matter. What transpired later.
And
What Patel feared happened.
within 10-15 days, the fast started on January 13th.
Yes.
On January 30th,
Yes, killed.
Gandhi was killed. Jayaprakash Narayan went on a series of speeches across India blaming Nehru, blaming Patel for Gandhi's death, This was discussed at the CWC meeting on February 4th when Patel was blamed.
But later, Jayaprakash Narayan himself has regretted his remarks and he said that injustice has been done by compatriots by just misrepresenting Patel, and perhaps it took some 15 to 20 years for Jayaprakash Narayan to realize and express his regrets. And others don't want to do it, they do it. See, A.G. Noorani writes in most of his articles slashing articles on Patel, and his conscience pricks. So here and there he quotes somebody other, this is not the way. That's the thing. Well, see, he takes a wanton side of wrong thing and he presents. Still, if his conscience doesn't prick, why does he give the footnote that others disagree?
So coming to that is about Maulana Azad's book, India Wins Freedom.
Yes.
That is one book where Patel is repeatedly charged as a communalist. Patel seems to be the villain of the whole piece, where everybody else smells sweet.
We should not talk ill of dead men. Abul Kalam Azad, when I was a school student, was considered a very great education minister of the country, and there was an aura around him. But when we read the books, when we turn to the history, we find that he was a Muslim League person within the Congress, but doesn't want to be perceived as a Muslim League person, and perhaps he did more service through Congress for Muslims than what Muslim League persons would have done. So how can we rate? People cannot be rated at when they were alive. It must take some time for us to.
Patel had an antagonism, within quotes, against Azad because Azad had given a letter to the British,
Yes.
began without the knowledge of his colleagues in the CWC.
See, is it right? Not right. And it came to be known later, and he denied having given a letter at all. And though Gandhiji was in possession of a copy of the letter.
Copy. And the letter stated that Congress will not nominate a Muslim on its own, which was
He said that he would not be the person. He knew Asaf Ali was appointed later, and this sets an imbalance in the representation. Congress should not have considered that not giving a representation to a Muslim would be perceived as a Hindu party. That's the first mistake that Congress did there. Muslim League is there, the Muslim representative is there, the others are there. It's not a question of Hindu. It's not a question of non-Muslim otherwise.
there. This is similar to how BJP is now pulled down as a Hindu party. So it's deliberately cordoned off into a very small area where it is forced to represent a militant minority within the Hindus. Congress was then a national party which was represented in India, but Muslim League deliberately pushed it into a corner saying you are a representative of only India.
Here is where I want to bring in our last session's conversation. BJP, its genesis is from Congress. And what you call Congress is not Congress at all. So we have to take in that BJP from the beginning had been giving enough space and respect to Muslims also. Even now. But when you go on making a campaign that I am going to give a bad name, I am going to give a bad name. So that is what even media people say, or media people are tutored to say. I don't know by whatever means, why they do so continuously. Print media, electronic media, and ask them individually, any journalist. No, I have nothing against BJP. But the consolidated public opinion is different. What a man holds within himself, within his heart is different. I think what an individual holds within the heart must get reflected in the forthcoming elections.
Coming back to Azad's book, Ram Manohar Lohia immediately wrote a rebuttal to the
Yes.
book. There he clearly says there is a lie in every page of the book.
Now, if I remember, not a page goes without a lie.
Not a page that goes without a lie. Ram Manohar Lohia was a socialist, atheist.
Yes.
Patel was a Hindu communalist.
Yes.
Why did Ram Manohar Lohia support Patel?
The very fact that most of the politicians wanted to belittle Logia, says that he has been great. Logia was not taken kindly by these people. And though Logia and Patel were at opposite camps ideologically, the very fact that Logia writes in praise of Patel shows, see, their ideology is not confined to rating persons rightly or wrongly. And Logia has rightly rated Patel. And how many persons remember Logia now? Logia's contribution has been great to the Congress, but Congress let him down. He joined other parties. There also he was not treated well. So, see, Logia also met to some extent the fate of Patel.
When the second edition of the book India Wins Freedom was published in 1988 after a 30-year gap, Rajmohan Gandhi wrote a rebuttal to that book.
Yes.
When Logia wrote a rebuttal to the first version in 1988.
I think Rajmohan Gandhi need not have waited that long. He could have written it immediately.
But he refers to it. Sir. He says, having Logia having written the first book, I'll wait for the unpublished parts to come so that I could write a comprehensive rebuttal.
May not be that reason. Rajmohan Gandhi had his own reservations, he belongs to the family of Rajaji. Logia he doesn't belong to the family. He doesn't have that reservations to write anything about it. So Rajmohan Gandhi, perhaps, he belonged to the family, he waited. He had some hesitations to write immediately.
So, but my question was, which I obviously did mouth at them, what I was coming to was, despite two rebuttals, why do people like Noorani take pleasure in quoting the already discredited quotes of Maulana?
There are some people who are want to be anxious to be different. Whether they write facts or not, they would like to be very different from that. And they feel that if they say anything new, if they say anything startling, that sticks. That sticks now because most people don't know the history. So if it's an old man, he tells okay, that is what people think. And writing of Indian history from our boyhood days to now, Indian history has not been properly written, so that people are not given their due. The same thing happened to Patel, the same thing happened to others. All our history books, as I told you in all the sessions, Gandhi is called Gandhi Tata, Grandpa, Nehru, Uncle, and what epithet they are given to others. So, our independent India's history projected Nehru and Gandhi more, and to do that, they belittled others. They belittled Patel, though Patel, Nehru and Gandhi were considered triumvirate to win the Indian freedom. And now it is my intention to regain Patel his due place. When you write so much about Gandhi, when you write so much about Nehru, most of them hero worship. And you discard facts, you present it in bad light. Why don't we present Patel in the right light? Taking extracts from the books on and by Patel and by Gandhi and Nehru.
Sir, also, in the context of minorities, there was a committee formed in the drafting committee of the Constitution, where I understand some nationalist Muslims had argued for reservation for Muslims. That was one of the reasons Patel had...
See, here is a book. This is one of the, considered to be one of the good books on Patel by B. Krishna. He writes there, the nationalist Muslims who acted under the guidance of Maulana Azad urged reservation with weightage. And they also wanted to have separate laws, bucks, and to administer Shariat laws. And when the country comes under as one nation without any discrimination, the Muslims have gone to their country, the country must be ruled by one law. And if they are going to have this, again they are redoing Jinnah.
Repeating what Jinnah
Yes.
had done in the past 50
Yes,
years.
why should they do a Jinnah after Jinnah has carved its own portion of land? So even this attitude was wrong, and somehow they had some, for whatsoever reason, mainly not to be perceived totally Hindutva or others, Congress just lent to be handled by these communal elements. Not to be perceived communal, they yielded to communal elements. So ultimately, Muslims won.
It was basically Azad and Kidwai
Yes.
who used Patel as the
If Azad and Kidwai had been in Muslim League and clamored all that they wanted, okay. But they came to the Congress fold, and there is another voice within Congress for the Muslim League, not identifying themselves as Muslims.
something similar like holding Modi as the other,
Yeah.
so that you can polarize the whole thing. Is it Modi who polarizes, or a Mulayam Singh Yadav who says, don't go to Modi, come to me? Rafi Ahmed Kidwai and Maulana Azad used to do the same thing there.
There are more Rafi Ahmed Kidwais and more Azads, and just as there was one Patel, there is one Modi. And not only both are Gujaratis, they call a spade a spade. And another thing, uncurrent. When Patel it was who forced Nehru to remove R.K. Sharma Chetty as finance minister when he heard that there are some charges, serious charges against him. But to just sack him. So, Modi has also been ruling like that. Congress people are afraid that Modi is projected as Patel too. That's why they are angry. But they have not been owning Patel. They ask, why should Modi own Patel? Why did not Congress own Patel all these years? Because it's always instant for Congress party to have a person who was righteous. Nehru was soft to all the persons who were corrupt. Subsequently, his progeny is like that. And Patel or Modi, they uncompromising with regard to administration without corruption.
Sir, we have taken enough time of yours. I hope the book comes out
Yes.
in the
With more instances,
and with more
instances and references. I hope to do it.
Thank you, friends.
Thank you.
Please follow Dr. Natarajan on his Twitter handle, Indu Rajan. Thanks, friends.